Okay, so in the previous lesson, we had started to get a general overview of Blender's user interface. So you understand what a window type is and how they're glued together and how you can resize them and how you can use these small little triangles on the top right or on the bottom left to duplicate window types. Okay, now what I want to show you is that if you press the shift key down and hover your mouse over this little triangle, press the left mouse button and just nudge it to the left or right, it doesn't really matter. What it's going to do is actually duplicate that window as a new window, and now you can drag this window off onto another monitor. Okay, so I'm just going to do X to get rid of this. So you can do this on any of these. Okay, now the other thing to know is that if you right click on the header over here, it says to maximize the area, you can do Control Up key. So if I do the Control Up key, I can actually make this the main focus of my layout. And you can see that over here it says back to previous. You can simply click on this to go back to the way you were. You can also just do Control Up arrow and then press it again to go back to the way you were. You can also do the same thing by just doing Shift and Space Bar. It does the same thing. Okay, now if you hover your mouse over here and do the same thing, you can see that this becomes the main focus over here, right? So you can do this on any of these. Okay, that's the first concept. So now let's talk about these headers in a little more detail over here. So as you can see that each header is going to come with its own options over here, right? Depending on which window type you're on. So if you look at this header over here all the way to the left, you can see that if you click this, you can actually access all the different window types Blender has to offer. Now the thing to understand is that the 3D view is really the gray view of Blender. You're going to do all your work in the 3D view, okay? Then all these different window types simply hook back into the 3D view. So meaning that these window types over here are very easy to understand, right? So all the complex systems in Blender that allow you to create your 3D models are going to be in the 3D view. So now notice that over here, when I click this, I'm on the 3D view. You can tell by looking at the icon it's displaying, okay? Now over here, if you go look for the header, remember you can do your scroll wheel over here. If you click on this, you can see that if you look for this icon, let's look for it. It says that this is the outliner, okay? And then over here, if you go over here, you can see that this is the properties window type. So this means that, let's say that if I look at this icon, come over here and change this to the properties over here, you can see that I can switch this window type to be exactly the guy that's over here. And then I can click over here and change this to 3D view. And if I do the middle mouse button, I can actually rotate around this, right? So I can click on this and do 3D view over here too, and middle mouse button to rotate, okay? And I can now see how this can get a little confusing. What you have to do is always look for the header. Where did the header go? Is it below or top? So here it's on the top, so I'm going to switch back to the 3D view, and you can see that the header is now on the bottom. So you can see that these window types, where you see the header, you can actually change them to be anything that you want. I'm just going to do the 3D view over here, and I'm just going to go under File, and I'm just going to do Load Factory Settings to just reset everything, right? So you can do that at any time whenever you feel that you're getting lost in manipulating these 3D views, okay? So what I want to show you is that, remember when we went into these this notepad, and when we went under Format and Font, it brought up a modal type of a dialog box. And as I said, in Blender there is no such thing because they give you all the options up front to you. So if you go under File and go under here User Preferences, you'll see that what we get is the same kind of thing that we were getting in Notepad, like this modal type of a dialog box. But this actually is not a dialog box. This is a window type, which is the same thing that I could have done over here, right? So if you look over here, look for the header. First of all, you can see that the triangle is over here on the top right and here on the bottom left, and here's the header. Okay, so if I click on this header, notice what the icon is. It's a spanner icon. So if I look for this same icon, you can see it's called User Preferences. So I can switch this to the 3D view, and do the middle mouse button to rotate, right? So this is the same thing that we just did. If we hover the mouse, press the shift key down, hover the mouse on this, left click and nudge it, it's the same thing. So over here, if I just move this over here, or I can resize it, bring this over here and change this to user preferences. I'm back to where it was, okay? So this means that here on the 3D view, if I click on this, go to user preferences, I'm back to where I was. See, file, user preferences. So this is what it means that Blender's not going to hide anything from you. They're going to give you access to everything very quickly right up front. Okay, so I'm going to switch this to 3D view. Now watch what happens when I go under file and do save as. See, I get this box over here where I can select my the file that I want to save, click the directories and click save. Now notice that this is the window type, and we can tell this by just looking for the header over here. So if I click on this over here, you see the header over here, it's switching to this file browser. Okay, now notice something strange about this, that if we look closely, we're not seeing the triangles over here. See this? The triangle's not here. So this is a little misleading, because if I click on cancel over here, go into this 3D view, click over here, do file browser, you can see that now I get the triangles. Okay, so basically you can see that this is what I mean by they're not hiding everything from you. They're going to show you everything that Blender uses. So even the file browser, you can access it from here, right? So internally, when Blender is working, or I guess you could say that it's using the file browser window type, you can click it, and when you don't see the triangles, it means that it's going to do something internally with it. Okay, it's linking to something. That's why they're not there. But just to cancel. It's probably the simplest way to understand that. Okay, so now you understand how you can switch these window types. Now what I want to show you is over here. I'm just going to click over here and bring this down. So this window type is going to be pretty important, because if you click on it, you can see that it has its exclamation point over here, and if you look, it has info. So this info window type is where it gives you the ability to go over here, click on new, open, or get to this option over here, load factory settings. Okay, so why this is important is because sometimes you can let's say collapse these. Let's say if I go over here and click on this, and let's say I'm going to collapse this over here, I'm going to collapse, click on first I have to click on this, because you have to do it in a logical order. So here I'm going to just click on this, go up, go down, collapse it. I'm going to collapse this, then I'm going to click on this and collapse it. See, it's gone. So how do I get access to that? Well, the first thing that you can do is you can simply click on this and bring it down like this, and go over here and then go to this window type info. When you click it, you can see that we simply come back to the starting point, meaning that now you can access this file and do load factory settings. This is really important, because this is, well, if you get lost in how you're manipulating the user interface, simply come in here, do load factory settings, and it'll just reset everything over here for you. Okay, so now that I've shown you this, what I want to show you is that how do you create your own custom layouts. Now over here, if you click on this, you can see that what Blender is doing is that they're showing you different window type layouts that you might be interested in. So let's say that we click on animation. See, what they've done is simply just place these window types in this way, and you don't have to agree with any of these. I can come in here, let's say click on this triangle over here and collapse it, right? Maybe I don't want this one. And over here, maybe I don't want this one over here. Okay, I'm going to click this, collapse it. Now notice this over here. See what I mean? That over here, where's the header for this? All you have to do is look for this plus, and if I click it, you can see that this was simply a 3D view. Okay, and I can scroll my mouse wheel over here all the way and then right click it and do flip to top. That's what this was. Okay, now notice that when you switch and when you start making changes, it actually remembers what you're doing. Okay, so if I click over here and take it to the left, it's going to be like this. So now if I go over here and switch to default, this is how I started out with. Now if I click on this, go back to animation, see, it remembers what I did. And again, all this stuff is really easy to put back together. Or you can simply come in under here, File, Load Factory Settings, and it'll just reset everything. So what this means is that if I go under animation, if I want to create my own custom layout, either I can do it with what they've given me, or you can simply click on this plus sign. So if you click it, you'll see that it creates a copy of it, and you can click in here and rename it. Now if you click on this over here, you can see that here's the original and here's mine. So now if I come in over here, I'm just going to change a few things over here. Let's say over here, I don't want this. I'm going to click on this over here and bring it to the bottom. See, I can't do that because you have to do it in a logical order. So let's say I'm going to click on this. I'm going to collapse this first, and now go over here, look for this one, collapse this to the left, and click on this one, collapse it to the bottom. This is mine. So now when I click on animation, this is the original and this is my layout. Okay, so now if you don't want this, you can simply go on this layout, or your saved layout, and just click on this X over here, and now it'll just simply delete it. Okay, now if you mess any of these up, you will have to go under File and do Load Factory Settings. But it's no big deal if you mess it up, because you've seen that you can just reset it yourself, right? So you can see that you have access to quite a bit of these, right? And you can use them in any way that you want to. Again, it's up to you as to if you agree with these layouts or not. So I'm just going to go back to default over here. Okay, so now what I want to do is talk about these window types. So here's the 3D view. Now notice that when you click on the header, and if I click on this and collapse it, I get this little plus sign. Now notice that some of these window types are going to have extra options, and we can see this by looking over here. You see that it has a plus sign. If I click it, it comes up. If I move my mouse over here and collapse it, it goes back down. So it's kind of working in the same way over here. You can click this. So whenever you see these little plus signs, it tells you that this window type is going to have extra options. Now over here, you also have it on the left. You actually have to collapse this to see it. See, you get this plus sign, I can open it. Now you can also press the T key and it will open and close it, or you can press the N key to bring it on this side. Why this is important is that, let's say if you go over here and let's go to this guy over here. Okay, let's click him. You can see that he has options. So you can do quickly the T key to see if it has options, or do the N key. Or you can simply click on these plus signs. Okay. Now this is not always true on all window types. So let's say if we go to the graph editor, you can see that we have a plus sign over here. So if I click it, I know that I'm going to get more options over here, right? And I can collapse this. But over here, I don't. And I can check this quickly by doing the T key. Nothing happens. If I do the N key, it does. But strangely enough, if you click over here and take it to the left, you can see that it does give you a plus sign. But if you do the T key, it doesn't, right? So what you want to do is simply just go through these window types and just click on each one of them to see if they have these extra options. So if I do the T key, nothing happens. If I do the N key, it does over here. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the 3D view over here. Okay, so now you understand that how you can get to these options. Now again, look over here. Let me actually point this out. If you click over here, you can see that Info, User Preferences, Outliner, and Properties. Okay, let's go to Info. You can see that these four guys typically don't have any special features on the left or right. Okay, so here in the Outliner, which is the same thing over here, you don't get those plus signs over here, and you're not going to get them in the properties. Okay, now again, you have to be mindful of where the header is switching, so it's switched over here. Okay, so now you understand how these work over here, right? Each one of these are window types. So it looks like Python. I don't see any options over here. Okay, so let's just switch back to the 3D view. Okay, so now you understand how these concepts work over here. So what we want to do now is actually start looking at this 3D view. Okay, because this is where your main focus is going to be. Now I want you to start writing down on a piece of paper some of the things I'm going to tell you. For first, I'm going to do File, and I'm just going to do Load Factory Settings over here. Okay, now, so this is a 3D view. If you do the middle mouse button and press it down and move it, you can see that you can actually rotate around the 3D view. So you can rotate this way, you can rotate up and look at this object in any way that you want to. And if you do the scroll wheel, you can zoom in and out over here. Okay. Now if you press the shift and press the middle mouse button on your mouse, you can pan around. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward. Rotate with the middle mouse button, zoom in and out with the scroll wheel, and press the shift key down and to move this guy around over here. Okay. So now what we want to do is take a look at how do you select objects inside the 3D view. So I'm just going to zoom out over here. So if you right click, you'll see that you get this little orange outline that tells you that this object is selected. Now if you look here on the outliner, let's actually go and make this a little bigger over here. You can see that it also selects, it makes this a white text, and it gives you like this little glow over here, like this orange circle. It tells you that this is selected. So now if I click on this, you see that it's saying that this is the lamp. So this is selected. If I right click on the camera, I've selected this one. Okay. Now what do you do with the left mouse button then? If you click on the left mouse button, you see that you can move this weird looking thing here. So this is actually a 3D cursor. Now we're going to be using this 3D cursor when we start modeling the human figure, but basically what the 3D cursor is, you can actually click it with the left mouse button and place it somewhere on the 3D view. Notice that when I click it here and do the middle mouse button, it actually sticks to the object. Okay, so this is what the 3D view is. Okay, now if I click on this, now you see that when you do that, you get these arrows. These are your 3D manipulators. Now what I want you to pay attention to is over here. These are your axes. So the blue one is the Z axis, the green one is your y-axis, and over here the red one is your x-axis over here, right? Now to move this object, I can click on the green arrow and just drag it with the left mouse button. It'll drag over here. If I do the blue arrow, I'm dragging it on the z-axis, and on the red arrow I'm dragging it on the x-axis. Now over here, notice that if I click this, right, the header clears, and this is something that will happen is whenever you're using different options in Blender, it's going to actually show you some options. Actually, look over here, it shows you text, it's showing you what you're doing, and you're going to be looking over here quite a bit when we're going through this series. Now how do you scale this object? Well, what you can do is come over here, click on this button over here. You'll see that you can scale. So I can click on this little box, green box, I can scale it on the y-axis, the x-axis, and the z-axis. And if I click over here in the middle where the circle is, if I click this, I can do it on all axes over here. Same thing, if I click on this button over here, I can rotate. So I can rotate like this over here, I can rotate in this way, I can rotate in this way. If I click on this white, I can rotate it depending on the view, right? So if I move this over here, if I click on this, I'm rotating it. Again, I'm just giving you a general overview of all these things over here. Again, you can go into File, do Load Factory Settings just to reset everything if you get confused by this. So you can of course click on the camera, do the same thing, move this guy over here, click on this, and move this guy over here. Now just so you know that the Shift key, it can be used in many ways. So see this, if I press the Shift key down and click my left mouse button over here, actually first you can see that I've deselected it. See, if I click it, it doesn't deselect. If I press the Shift key down, it deselects. Now if I press the Shift key down and if I click this and just move my mouse, I can get all of these manipulators at once if you let it go. Now this is a bit confusing, so now I can move it, I have to hunt down for it and scale it, or I can rotate it. Now usually you don't do this, you just click on this over here. So meaning that if I bring this up just to show you, see this? This is, you can also move it over here. And if you press the Shift key down and click it, you can do it micro movements. And if you want to, if you press the Shift key down and just click with your left mouse button and drag it, you can select all of these. So you can type in a value, let's say 0.4, and we'll just change all of them. So you can use the Shift key in any of these sections over here. And this again are switching your layers over here. So if you press the Shift key down and click on this, and you can actually paint across this. Okay, so that's how these concepts work over here. So I'll see you in the next lesson where we will talk a little deeper about this. Thank you.